Hello. Welcome back to this channel. Today, I'm going to explain episode 1 of a TV show called Wednesday. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The film begins at Nancy Reagan's high school, and then cuts to our protagonist, Wednesday Addams, who is engaging in interpersonal communication. By stating that while she admires the sadism, she is unsure whose twisted idea it was to place hundreds of adolescents in schools with inadequate funding run by people whose dreams were dashed years ago. While strolling through, it appears understudies at the school are terrified of her as they leave her a way through. Then, as she reached into her school locker, she discovered that her younger brother Pugsley was locked inside. Addams asks her brother right away who did that to him, but Pugsley doesn't say who it was because he says everything happened so quickly. Then Wednesday loosens him and she illuminates him that emotions approach his shortcoming. In the middle of the conversation, Addams has a brief vision in which she is the ones who bullied his young brother, and it also happened, but she didn't tell Pugsley. Wednesday Addams moves on to the school pool, where the bullies were, after a while. When the bullies see her, they begin to make fun of her by calling him a scared kid. Yet, Wednesday proceeds to torture them by delivering tissue-eating fish in the pool, where many are harmed and others escape. She even asserts she is the only one who gets to torture her brother. Then the scene slices to Wednesday and her folks in the vehicle being taken to another school. We know she was kicked out of the school because of what she did. Inside the vehicle, her mom Mrs. Morticia Addams and father Mr. Gomez Addams are having wonderful time as they sing in addition to kissing. However, it appears Wednesday Addams isn't pleased by their activity. Midway through the journey, a group of birds attack mysteriously the vehicle, revealing that Wednesday is not your typical person. Not only did she use the birds to disrupt her parents' happy time, but her mother also used her special abilities to quickly kill the birds. After the commotion, her mother, Mrs. Morticia Addams, asks her how long she plans to ignore them. Wednesday, in response, calls Lurch, their terrifying driver, to inform her parents that she no longer communicates with them. However, her mother continues by stating to her father that Nevermore is the ideal school for her. As a response, Wednesday inquires as to why it would be the ideal location for her. Is it because they had a wonderful time there? And Wednesday shows no interest in following in their footsteps of becoming captain of the fencing team, queen, king, and president of the Seance Society in addition to being queen and king of Dark Prom? However, her parents inform her that she will meet her peer there. She learns that Mr. and Mrs. Addams attended Nevermore as well, and that it is a magical school instead of a regular one. On a rage-stricken Wednesday, Mr. Gomez Addams reveals that it was at the same school that he and her mother first met and fell in love. However, Wednesday is just becoming nauseated, and not in a good way. The scene cuts to an elderly woman with a man in the middle of the road to Nevermore School. The guy asks the lady to drop him off on the way, but the lady compliments him by saying that the trail from the school isn't. She then tells him stories about werewolves and how dangerous they are. However, the person answers kidding, "Haha, my camp instructor was a werewolf and was an incredible person, thus, wolves are ordinary like us." The elderly woman responds, "They are beautiful, but only until they tear your throat away." The guy moves on to the forest after the conversation. The man is suddenly attacked by an unknown creature in the middle of the forest. We are taken back in time as Addams arrives at Nevermore School in the movie, where Principal Weens meets them. The principal notes that Wednesday is a one-of-a-kind name and speculates that it was given to her in honor of her mother's birthday. However, Mrs. Morticia claims that Wednesday was born on Friday, 13th, and that in order to name the girl Wednesday, she used a line from her favorite nursery rhyme, "Wednesday's child is full of woe." Mrs. Morticia is praised by Mrs. Weens for always viewing the world from her own perspective. Additionally, on Wednesday, she inquired as to whether her mother had informed her that they were classmates. Wednesday responds, "And you graduated with your sanity intact?" With a laugh. Impressive. However, Mrs. Weens ignores and wonders how interesting Wednesday's education journal will be. Oh my goodness, 8 schools in 5 years. Wednesday responds that the schools weren't designed to house her properly. Additionally, she wagers that Nevermore will fail. The principal is astonished by her words, but her parents argue that she genuinely values opportunities. Mrs. Weens claims that Nevermore does not typically admit students during the middle of the term, but due to her ability to persuade members of the school board and the relationship her parents had with the institution, she was admitted. The next question from her parents is whether the school has therapy sessions, to which Mrs. Weens responds that the school has a therapist named Jericho who has twice visited the school. Wednesday will be assigned by the principal to Ophelia Hall, where her mother also stayed. This made the girl's parents happy, but she was angry because she knew about Ophelia, the girl who killed herself because her parents made her mad. The family is then taken to the residence by Mrs. Weens, where they meet Wednesday's doment, Enid Sinclair, whom they also warmly welcome. After that, she inquires as to why Wednesday is so pale, but her parents tell her that she is always half dead. Enid is quick to talk about the rumors that Wednesday ran into trouble at her old school. Obviously, Wednesday tranquilly affirms the reports to be valid. Enid continues to show Wednesday around and educate her about the 4 social cliques at the school, those are the Fangs, aka vampires. Some of them have literally been here for decades. That bunch of knuckleheads are Furs, aka werewolves. When full moons get pretty loud around here. That's when Furs wolf out. Enid even shows her, Bianca Barkley, the closest thing Nevermore has to royalty. And that she used to date the resident tortured artist, Xavier Thorpe. but they broke up at the beginning of the semester. Wednesday is bid farewell by the family, and Morticia warns her about her plans to leave the school. Wednesday vows to leave the educational penitentiary in which she has been enrolled because she believes her mother underestimates her. She is brilliant, according to her mother, but she sometimes stands in her way. She gives her a small memento, an obsidian pendant, and a crystal ball so she can contact her. A piece of a hand to secretly watch over her is another present her father gives her. A sheriff and another officer come across human remains in the nearby woods. The female officer claims that a week prior, there were 2 additional attacks of a similar nature. The sheriff intends to issue a warning to hikers to avoid the woods and assign blame to bears. He believes that the murders are connected to Nevermore and is aware that the hikers were not attacked by a bear. Unfortunately, he does not yet have any evidence, so for the time being, he will continue to tell the bear attack story. Wednesday struggles to adjust to the school. The next morning, she has a new foe in the school's queen bee. She gets hurt and meets Rowan, a new friend. Fortunately, Xavier saves her when a gargoyle nearly falls on her. When Wednesday saved his life when they were 10, he is doing him a favor. Wednesday discovers the present her father gave her later that day. She chooses to make thing into her faithful aide, and her most memorable thing to get done is getting away from the school. In order to keep an eye on her, Principal Larissa drives her to her therapist appointment. Wednesday asks to use the bathroom during the appointment. She makes her way out of the bathroom through the window and heads across the street to the nearest cafe to learn how to get out of town. In the city, she runs into a man and has a dream of his passing. She decides that the man isn't worth saving because he is rude to her. She meets Tyler in the cafe and makes a deal with him. He orders a taxi for her and she will fix his coffee maker. She must wait an hour, despite Tyler's offer to drive her. She tries to bribe him with money, but he tells her that she can't buy him. She decides to remain patient. 3 boys arrive at the cafe to harass her while she waits. She responds and defeats them using her fighting skills. When the sheriff stops by the cafe shortly after the fight, he is shocked to see that she has defeated 3 boys. He asks his son Tyler whether he assisted her, but he says no. The principal quickly picks up Wednesday when he arrives. She is informed that her father is a murderer by the sheriff, who is not pleased to learn that she is the daughter of Gomez Adams. As they drive back to school, the principal tells Wednesday to stop making enemies and start making friends. Wednesday asks Enid for a favor to use her computer after she and Enid become a little close at school. She tells Thing to call Tyler and sends it. During the Harvest Festival, she enlists Tyler's assistance in escaping. Losing Principal Larissa, who is keeping a close eye on her, is not easy. According to schedule, Tyler shows up at the festival and hands her the police report on her father. The 3 boys she fought in the cafe approach her and Tyler as they attempt to leave. They want to settle their differences and meet again. Tyler believes that losing them in the crowd is preferable. She runs into Rowan and has another vision of him in danger as they flee from her. Due to a picture and a prophecy his mother received 25 years ago, she tries to save him, but he is attempting to kill her. Rowan is killed by a creature that appears out of nowhere to save her. Subscribe for more videos like this. Remember, your support motivates us. Thank you for watching.